Okay, so today we are talking about solving radicals. So solving those square roots, because we have only been talking about square roots, right? So now we are going to solve those radicals. So remember, this is the symbol that's called a radical. The nth root is right here. So if you don't see anything, it is called a square root. But as you move forward, we have to remember that we can have a cube root. We can have a fourth root, right? This is a 4 and a 3. We can have a fifth root. So if I see nothing there, it is called a square root because there's technically a little 2 there, right? So don't forget that 2, even though you can't see it. But the symbol itself is called a radical, okay? So we are going to solve for radicals today. So if I give you an example, and I have the radical of x equals 4, we have to remember that this is the same thing as x to 1/2 equals 4 also. These two things mean the same thing, right? This radical and this here. So to get rid of this radical, we also can remember there's a 2 here, right? So if I take this to the power of 2, I have to take this to the power of 2 on this side as well. These things cancel out, so I get x equals 4 to the power of 2. So x equals 4 to the power of 2 is 4 times 4, which is 16. You could also look at it over here. I'm going to multiply this by 2. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. The power's up here, right? And so this is your rational exponents, 1/2 times 2 over 1, which becomes 2 over 2, which is 1. So they cancel themselves out, and x equals 4 to the power of 2. 4 to the power of 2 is 4 times 4, so x equals 16. And if you wanted to, you could plug that 16 back in. So square root of 16 equals 4. Square root of 16 is 4 equals 4, and that checks out. Okay, the key here, though, is to make sure that we get this radical isolated. We have to have it by itself. Okay, so let's do another example. So let me do an example here, and I have 8 equals the square root of x minus 3. So what I mean by that last time, I said I have to isolate. So I have to get this by itself, just like if it was just a regular x, right? And so I'm going to move the negative 3 over. So I'm going to add that 3, right? And then we get 11 equals the square root of x. Now I need to take the square root. So I have to take this to, there's a 2 here. So I'm going to take it to the power. I'm going to take the 11 to the power of 2. So this cancels out. And so I have 11 to the power of 2 equals x. And 11 to the power of 2 is 11 times 11. So we get 121 equals x. Okay. And if I wanted to put 121 in here, right? Let's say we have 8 equals the square root of 121 minus 3. So 8 equals 11 minus 3. Oh, not 8. I said 3. 3. And so we get 8 equals 8. And that checks out. Okay, so when you are solving for these radicals, remember it's the same concept of getting just x by itself, right? So if I had 8 equals x minus 3, we would know I want to isolate x, so I want to move this over. So I want to add the 3, and 11 equals x. But now we have this radical, okay? And so that's going to be our difference here. Okay, let's look at another one. So let's do 3 times the square root of x minus 15 equals negative 6. So I'm going to circle my variable. I want to move the 15 first, just as if it was just 3x minus 15. So I'm going to add the 15 over, because, right, it's the opposite sign because I'm picking it up and moving it over. So I have 3 square root of x equals 9. Okay, and then remember the same thing. I'm going to circle this x, so I have to get rid of this 3, so it's 3 times the square root of x. So I'm going to divide by 3. Anything divided by itself is 1. And so now I have the square root of x equals 9 divided by 3, which is 3. Now there's a 2 here, so I have to take it to the power of 2 to cancel this out. So I get x equals 3 to the power of 2, which is 3 times 3, which is 9. So the key here is to isolate that radical, right? I'm going to erase that for a minute so you can see this. So this is that square root. I didn't mean to get the highlighter. Sorry. Let's try that again. So we have our square root of x, right? There is a little 2 here. So to get rid of this, I have to take it to the power of 2 to get rid of it, okay? And so then I have to do that to the other side. Whatever you're doing every time, you're doing that operation to the other side, right? I added 15, so I have to add 15 on this side. I divided by 3, so I divide by 3 on this side. Power of 2, okay? Okay, so let's look at another one. So let's say I have 6 times the square root of x minus 2 equals 12. Okay, I'm going to circle my variable. So I have to get rid of this 6 first. So it's 6 times the square root. So I'm going to divide by 6 first. Get rid of that. Anything divided by itself is 1. So I have the square root of x minus 2 equals 12 divided by 6, which is 2. Now I have the variable and the square root isolated. So I can take, there's a square root here, so I can take the power of 2 to both sides. This cancels itself out. And so I get x minus 2 equals 2 times 2, which is 4. I'm going to isolate x, so I need to move that 2 over. So I'm going to add the 2. So x equals 6. Okay, let's look at another one. So let's say we have the square root of x equals the square root of 5x minus 8. Oh, both of them are isolated already. Look, it's isolated and isolated. So right away, I can take the power of 2 on both sides. Again, because there's a 2 here. So this cancels itself out, this and this, right? Cancels itself out. So I get x equals 5x minus 8. Combine like terms. Again, if you're struggling with that, we're combining these two. So I'm going to move the 5 over. So I'm going to subtract 5x. So I get negative 4x equals negative 8. Cancels out. Divide by negative 4. Anything divided by itself is 1. So I get x equals 2.